Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. I think one of the biggest misunderstood thing about autonomy is that some people think it will only replace taxis and ride-hailing services. But the truth is, this will replace all transport. But not only that, it will likely increase the total market of what transportation even is. So let's check it all out and let's dive right in. So people continue to look at today's transportation market and think it will always look this way, and don't seem to understand that our transportation sector is about to be disrupted and will change forever. Tesla making a robotaxi like Waymo and Zoox and others is only one part of the story. That kind of service will replace taxis and ride-hailing service like Uber and Lyft. But there is so much more to this story than just robotaxis. Tesla's full self-driving software will also be in their cars they sell to customers, and this will eat into the amount of miles we humans are going to drive by a lot, because people are already now realizing just how much more relaxing and safer it is using Tesla's full self-driving supervised in their cars. Like Nick also wrote on X, the most underrated aspect of full self-driving is the confidence it provides when driving in unfamiliar places. It eliminates all the stress of missing turns or not knowing the route. I completed over 5,000 miles these last couple of months on full self-driving. It changed your entire road trip experience. Yes, you can drive if you want to, but when you don't have to on those long, boring stretches of driving. Even people from Wall Street that haven't always got this are starting to realize just how game-changing this software is. And that is persons that are actually trying out the software themselves, unlike the people that say it doesn't work and have never tried it. Like Morgan Stanley's Adam Jones, who said he recently completed 1,400-mile round trip from New York to Michigan and back, and Tesla's full self-driving drove 99% of the miles. It's a game changer. Having your hands off the wheels, feet off the pedals for nearly 12 hours of driving is a real game changer that is hard to appreciate without experiencing it for yourself. I have used full self-driving basically every time I have driven for the past 18 months, he said. I am not exaggerating when I say full self-driving did 99% of the miles. Aside from two sudden torrential downpours, one on the Pennsylvania Turnpike and one in the suburb of Detroit, and some minor maneuvering around McDonald's or Abby's parking lot, I really don't touch the wheel, Adam added. Full self-driving made no mistake or close call that I recall. This system handled highways very safely and confident. I cannot imagine buying another EV without full self-driving. It's a game changer. The tech changes how I think about long-distance road travel. Adam drove his 2021 Model Y Hardware 3 or AI 3 supervised full self-driving version 12.6.4. He loved the supercharging experience along the way. He finished saying that the $8,000 he paid for Tesla's full self-driving feels like a bargain. Adam's Tesla price target is $410. And remember, this was just version 12 on AI 3. Just wait until he tries version 13 on AI 4, or even better, try version 14 that will come soon. And AI 5 will take this to a whole new level. But yes, Adam cannot imagine himself buying a car without full self-driving. Like I said, this software will make demand skyrocket when people realize this. And also this woman that talks about how it feels so much safer with full self-driving supervised, helping with the driving as a parent.
We probably all can agree that driving with kids, toddlers, babies is a whole different experience. It can be stressful. We all try and be as safe as possible, obviously. But there is situations where Maybe they're crying in the back, they've dropped a toy they want, and you want to be able to help them, you want the drive to be easier. And I think that a lot of accidents probably happen because a parent is turning around whilst they're driving and then they veer off. So for me, this feels safer because there is so many more eyes on everything.
Yes, this is so true. In Europe, we unfortunately have it the wrong way around. The EU think they are making it safer by having it being almost impossible to touch your screen in the car and choosing some music or put in some navigation or whatever. So most people here in Europe will actually turn off autopilot and then work on the screen to find a song or radio station or the navigation, because if they don't, the system will start screaming at you, which is making the whole situation much more unsafe, because the system, even autopilot here in Europe, works great on the highway. I have been using it for 6 years all over Europe on road trips and so much more, and I can't even imagine having a car that can't drive itself on the highway anymore. And it's really safe and steady on the highway, so I wouldn't feel it is dangerous for me to take the eyes off the road for a few seconds to change the music or check the navigation to maybe find a different charging point. But the EU does. So that result in me taking the car out of autopilot to find a new navigation point, for example, which of course is a much more dangerous situation than the car just keeping driving straight on the highway while I find a new charging station. The EU Commission is not making this situation any safer, but only worse. And as a father, I can only agree with the statement from the woman. This system does make the whole driving feel more safe, because we humans are easily distracted, not just by finding navigation point or music, but also if the children are screaming in the back or whatever else can happen. So I feel much more safe on long drives down through Germany to Austria, for example, on a skiing holiday, if I have a full self-driving turned on. And as the system will only get better from here on out, that feeling will only increase with everyone that tries this system out. Some might think they will never trust a computer to drive them, but I think it is only a matter of time as people get used to this new technology. I personally think that in 20 or 30 years, not many will feel safe getting into a car with a human driver, and will feel much safer with an AI system driving them around. But until we get to that point, the system is already much safer than us human driving, as Tesla has already proven with the full self-driving system with human supervision. That is 10x safer than us human driving alone. So the safety will go up, but also just having much more relaxed driving is going to change people's view on the system. As Tesla also just wrote, the more you are using full self-driving supervised, the less stressed and frustrated you are on the road. Yes, exactly. Road rage will be a thing of the past. Like Scott here also said, his car is driving him from Times Square to Brooklyn over the Brooklyn Bridge with zero disengagement. And as he wrote, this is the truth. I've taken several full self-driving road trips. They are so relaxing and mind-blowing at the same time. This one is to New York and even drove us in the city with no stress. Yes, even though you still have to keep an eye on it at this point in time, it is still such a stress reliever to have the car drive for you in places like that. And here it is driving in New York City. I have tried that as a foreigner, and it is not a nice place to drive. There is so much traffic. Nothing fun about it at all. So having to just keep an eye on the car would have been awesome. But eventually we won't have to keep an eye on it at all, and it just drives us around. So Tesla system will not just be used in a robotaxi, but also as a driver for normal cars and help make our privately owned cars safer and make our drives more relaxed. But this will also give people back some freedoms to have their own car and drive them around that can't do that right now, like Roger here. So would love to just share this little clip from a Raj video. As he also wrote, I took my friend Roger for a robotaxi ride. Roger is vision impaired and unable to drive. His story highlights the importance of autonomy and the future of mobility for all.
This is my friend Roger and his dog, Dweezil. Every morning, they commute to work. Roger is a physicist, an artist, and a maker. But in 2019, his world changed forever. He lost his vision to glaucoma. He commutes to his workshop every day, 3 miles away from home. To get there, he sometimes walks, but usually he takes a lift. His lift costs him around $50 round trip. But today is different. Today, Roger is trying the Tesla Robotaxi. At a fraction of the price of his usual lift, it makes his daily trip far more affordable. And soon, there won't be a supervisor in the car. Just Roger and his buddy Dweezil, riding together with privacy, freedom, and independence. At first, the ride feels ordinary, but we're going down a super narrow road, and Roger feels that
it's absolutely boring. There's nothing. It's just, as far as I can tell, it's just as driven like a human driver.
Except no human is driving. It's powered by Tesla Vision, and to Roger, it feels totally sentient. On this trip, we have faced some real challenges. Narrow roads, lanes ending too quickly, roadwork construction, and random cones. But each time, the Robotaxi handles it gracefully, and it does exactly what a skilled driver would do. The numbers are also compelling. A round-trip lift costs Roger about $50. The same Tesla Robotaxi ride, $16 round trip. No tipping, no drowsy driver. Roger thinks that if Robotaxi is
significantly less expensive than Lyft and Uber, it'll wipe those companies out.
And I completely agree. The real gift is freedom, and that's the heart of the story. For Roger, and for many others like him, the Tesla Robotaxi isn't just about getting from one place to another. It's about independence, dignity, and the chance to keep doing what you love.
The ride was flawlessly driven. I could go over to San Francisco anytime I wanted. I could go out to the beach. I would be much freer to do the things I want to do. I'd love it.
So this is, for example, opening up a car market to people that would before never have bought a car. Vision impaired in the US alone is about 7 million people, but totally with some form of trouble with their vision, that is more than 80 million people in the US that will all benefit from having a car that can drive them around. This is a huge market that doesn't really exist today, that Tesla software will open up, and these people will be able to get their own car and the freedom to go everywhere they want to by themselves, even though they can't drive themselves. This is also true for all the elderly that have lost their license. Autonomy is about to give freedom back to everyone. But that is just one example. Cars that can drive themselves autonomously will make transportation extremely affordable for everyone, so also people that couldn't afford a car before will be able to have a car available on demand when they need to for a very low cost, when this is scaled up. So then transportation becomes much cheaper than it has ever been before, and that will only make the total market grow as more people will start using transport as a service that was not part of the transportation sector before. But this will also disrupt delivery services, as suddenly you don't have to pay a driver anymore. Now you can have the drive up to the destination and give the customer notification on their phone that their package has arrived, go outside, find a Cybercab or a Model Y or whatever sitting with their package, and only you can open the trunk through the app and grab your package. And when we in the future can add a humanoid robot to the mix, the possibility becomes endless, and the total addressable market is going to expand to a size we have never seen before in transportation, just like we know from basically all disruptive technologies that have come along. As Tony Saber has also shown many times, the new system that disrupts the old system will not just replace it, but grow bigger, just like horses and carriages got disrupted by the automobile and grew to become a much bigger market. But this will of course all come in stages. We won't have transport as a service next year, but we will get more and more people getting access to full self-driving supervised technology and learn how much more relaxing and safer the road trips can become no matter where you want to drive. We will also get unsupervised, and that will become a huge game changer. And the expansion of the robotaxi will also get to more and more cities, and all of the critics will slowly disappear as the technology matures and robotaxi expands and safety riders disappears. Then there is nothing left for the haters to criticize. And then the adoption of the system will just explode. So, like Tesla and Elon Musk have said many times before, slow at first, then all at once. So yes, Tesla is taking it slow at first to make sure they are being 100% safe. And all the haters will just use this as an excuse to say Tesla's system doesn't work, forgetting completely that Waymo did the exact same thing 7 years ago and even had safety drivers in their cars for years before they removed them. But that extra time this will take only give Tesla's AI system more time to learn, and that will only make it better and better and better, as every single day that ticks by will make Tesla's system learn more. And now we are even hearing rumors about Tesla's employees getting access to Tesla's full self-driving version 14. That should be a huge step forward. And that is when the old system is already driving around as robotaxis in Austin and San Francisco Bay Area with no accident so far. So it might feel like it is happening slowly, but suddenly Tesla's system will be superhuman in its driving capabilities, and then expanding its robotaxis and getting approval for full self-driving supervised and unsupervised later will become much easier, as Tesla will have the data to show the regulators how its system has become 10 or 100 times better than human drivers. And then it will feel like it all happens at once, as Tesla is working on getting this system to every corner of the world, like we have been seeing them testing in Europe and Australia and New Zealand and China and Japan and the US. So eventually it will be allowed in Europe and many other places as well. Maybe it will take another 2 to 3 years, but eventually it will, and then Tesla's system will be 1,000 times better than it is today at that point. So we might even see many places that will jump straight to unsupervised and not just supervised, as the system has been proven to be 100 times safer than us humans at that point. So I think Tesla is right with being slow at first, and then it will feel like it comes all at once. And then there will be many new markets starting to open up, like people that are incapable of driving today can have their own car, and people in cities that don't want a car because it's not possible to get a parking spot or whatever will also suddenly have access to transport as a service. Delivery service will be disrupted, not just by full self-driving cars, but full self-driving semi-trucks, which will also be a huge market for Tesla, and so many other opportunities we haven't even thought about yet that autonomy will open up. So for some people to think robotaxis will only disrupt ride-hailing and taxis, they simply don't get what is coming, in my opinion. Tesla's full self-driving software and robotaxis is the single biggest embodiment of AI consumers can buy today, and it will only grow from here on out. And the total addressable market for that software running in Tesla's cars and robotaxis will open up the new market that will be vastly bigger than anything we have seen before in the transportation sector. And Tesla is one of the only ones that has been working on a general solution that can be scaled in all aspects, from hardware to software, and already have manufacturing at scale. There is no one that sits with better cards on their hands than Tesla when it comes to being the biggest player in this new market these new technologies will open up. So slow at first, then all at once, giving freedom to move to all. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.